Oh. Nidus has an augment mod now. Didn't know about that. Huh. This is not the same mission. I picked the right mission, right? Oh, invasions change sometimes. Okay. I got kind of confused. I'm like, I hope I'm not in the wrong spot. It'd suck if I screwed this one up. I'm just gonna shoot people with the beam. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like I'm just kind of the odd man out in a lot of things. And like everybody I've ever... Oh, hey! Summocord tone. How do I have to scan it. I always have to click the scanner thing twice, don't I? There we go. Tenta ball. I will have to, I'll have to go collect those. Figure out how to collect them. But yeah, so of every YouTuber that I ever knew, the only other person that have, there's only 2 channels that have ever grown faster than me that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of channels that have grown way faster than me. And like way more professionally. I think Stump's a good example of people that like really skyrocketed. But I actually haven't met them personally up until now, actually. Whoa, you shot me into a weird spot. But C-Top and Wells Knight are like the only 2 guys that I've ever seen grow this fast, and they do completely different things from me, so it's like impossible for me to be like, how do you do what we do? Because it's different. I also always have that like baseline fear of just like things are gonna fall apart. I guess that's always true. I don't know. People just get to listen to Wanderbots solo therapy while we play Warframe. But it's also one of those where it's like, I've played this game for so much that, like, after a while, apart from, like, gun changes and, like, new things, not a whole lot of new stuff to commentate on. That's why I want the like, crazy beast to come along so I actually have an excuse to talk about the game for once. That's what the Eidolons are kind of cool, though. Whoops. Wrong way. There we are. Oh, I don't have enough mutation stacks. Well, Tanta Ball. Gross. Things are always going to fall apart. I have no idea. Like, I've spent my entire YouTube career kind of planning for my career to die. You know, for YouTube to make that final fatal mistake. Or for some YouTuber to screw it up for everybody. And they keep trying. But it's still going pretty strong. It's doing better than ever, honestly, which is weird. Like, you'd think after all these controversies, things would, you know, kind of started to come apart at the seams. But it seems like they've only just done better. Hey, I can make Fieltrons. They just take forever. Oh, yeah, I can actually just make a bunch of these. That'll speed things along a little bit. Demonetized. Actually, oddly enough, the demonetization has actually made me more money. It's really insulting when I get demonetized. It's really insulting to, oh, is it bedtime for Acleon? Or did you just get kicked out for some reason? Ah, you're going to bed. Super tired. Totally understandable, man. Well, we'll just finish this one, and then maybe we'll call it from there, and I'll play Warframe again in a couple of nights. Because I will admit, I am super tired, too. Co-oping with a vac is time-consuming. Getting up at noon sucks. Well, no, I get up at noon. Getting up before noon sucks. I am not a morning person. But yeah, the demonetization thing, adpocalypse, whatever, that actually ended up making me more money in the long run. At first, it was terrifying, because, I went from, you know, I think the apocalypse happened in, like, January or something. It came at a really, like, weird, bad time. Wow. That was a hit, whatever that was. It came at a very weird, bad time. Like, February, January, or something like that. Ah, Sarin Spores. I've got to use Sarin at some point. I maxed her out and then I pretty much just ignored her because, have other things to do. Oh, right. We're on the Corpus side. I keep shooting Corpus and getting confused why they don't die. But yeah, so it came out at like a really awkward bad time. For people that don't know, generally ad rev generally dies when when Christmas is over and it doesn't recover for quite a couple of months, and that's just the way it's always been. It's not like that big of a deal, and most YouTubers get used to it because ultimately you're making more money for Christmas anyway, so it's, you know, it just kind of cycles up and down. I'm going the wrong way. But what happened was, the adpocalypse situation happened late winter, early spring, and so the you know, low money from January continued on and then got worse. So it's like, you know, usually things start recovering by April. They only went down, so like everybody was panicking. A bunch of YouTubers like were freaking out about losing their jobs. Some quit, actually, just straight up because they couldn't handle it. Because like losing that much money means you can't pay your bills. Can't pay your bills? Some people just have to find different lines of work. And so like there were about like 4 months of just pure terror. Of like, yeah, everything is falling apart. And then afterwards, the ad rates just started going up, and then didn't stop going up. Which is weird and scary, and also really nice, because it means my job is more stable now, even if everything seems like it's on fire. Currently, everybody's really mad about the whole 4,000 hours thing, but when you do the math, that amounts to about 40 bucks. It's not so bad. A lot quit just by streaming. Very true. And honestly, like, that's kind of what I've been doing. Adpocalypse was kind of a wake-up call for me. It was like, yeah, if this does fall apart again, I need a backup plan. So I've been much more, like, active about streaming because it's separate, and the apocalypse won't affect it. So if I just do both in parallel, I don't have to worry about it. But notice the quality of the ads have gone up since, by nature of herd thinning. Unfortunately, I pay for YouTube Red, so, like, I actually have no idea. I actually have no idea what ads are like on YouTube, and I haven't for years. Because I don't like ads, and I also don't like Spotify, and so I just use Google Play instead to listen to all my music. And the music library is just about the same. Let's see. So, we're gonna get 3. I've got another one making. We can't get more. What else do I have? Actually, why don't we, go for detonated injectors, seeing as there's a bunch of those, if you guys don't mind. I don't mind going for, like, a little while longer. What's the 4,000 hours thing? So YouTube recently changed its, I guess let's figure out what kind of mission type. Or I could just keep going Nidus. I could potato my Glaxion. I'm just gonna potato my Glaxion. It seems good, decent enough. It's deserving of a potato. Do split chamber, and that's all my mod capacity. Oh boy, this is gonna take forever. I guess I could probably throw in like high voltage, get me magnetic. Yeah, the 4,000 hours thing on YouTube is so originally with YouTube, you just had to have like a basic number of. Let's see. So we could do. So we've already done Lex. Infestation, infestation. Okay, let's just do Infested Outbreak here. If you guys are up for it. Support defense. Okay, that should be fine. Hey Wander, can I join in? Yep, we got a slot. My username is McKillington. I gotta change that. MC Killington. But so, you used to only need, like, a phone number, I think, to get, like, partnered with YouTube or something like that, which let you get ads and, like, a bunch of custom stuff and whatever. Nothing particularly fancy. Oh, it's just this tile set. If we do this thing again, I'll just roll Banshee or something. Not a big deal. But, so, they've changed it recently, shooting Grineer reflexively on this map. But they changed it recently, as of yesterday actually, that you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours per year on YouTube to make any money from it, which upset a lot of people. Like, a lot of people saw it as like this death knell for small channels and stuff, which I can kind of understand. That is really unfortunate news if you're just starting out on YouTube and it feels like the world's against you. But ultimately, 1,000 subscribers isn't that much. For frame of reference, I actually didn't start monetizing my channel until I hit 1,000 subscribers. The first year and a half on my channel were very much ad-free. And if any of you guys followed then, well, you lucky ducks. You didn't have to watch ads, unlike that. I don't know, whatever, anyway. But so, come on! You're in the tentable. You have no business knocking me over. Get out of here. Die. Thank you. You suck. But so like I just didn't put ads on. I felt like it was kind of a bad idea. And I think it's kind of been disproven that people even give a shit about ads half the time. Either you care or you don't. And usually the people who care are the ones that use ad block. Which, please don't use ad block. It, like, actually makes it so I don't make money. Period. And if I don't make money, I stop doing this entirely. And of course, usually I get a lot of people being like, well, you shouldn't be doing this for money. It's like, then I'm not gonna do it. I got other hobbies. Honestly, if YouTube just stopped making me money, I'd probably switch over to indie dev and writing. Kind of interchangeably. That'd be fun. But anyway, so 1,000 subscribers takes a while to get, especially if you're like a small channel. But ultimately, like, that's not the big thing. The 4,000 hours is important. And is generally harder to get than 1,000 subscribers. And so generally, I think the average audience retention on YouTube is about 10 minutes per view, give or take. It might be a little bit lower than that. I'd have to check site-wide, but from what I've heard, it's about 8 to 12 minutes, somewhere in there, depending on the person and the age and whatever. And so, let me see. And so, like, 4,000 hours of watch time translates to, I mean, turn that down into minutes. 4,000 hours, that's, what, 240,000 views? Yeah? Yeah. I can't math right now. Yeah, 240,000 minutes watched, which is, what, 24,000 views? Give or take? Like, that's not actually that much. And that approximately goes to about 30-40 bucks, depending on how much ad rev you have. 2,000 videos with 4 views each at 30 minutes. Yeah, no, you could. Like, the hilarious thing is, like, you really don't need that many... you don't actually need that much. It just seems like a lot and super insurmountable, but, like, it amounts to almost no money. And it actually doesn't take that long. But a lot of people see it as this, like, crazy impossible thing. It's like, nope. For frame of reference, I get 1.5 million minutes per day in views. And, like, I will admit I'm getting up there in channel size. But, like, I get, you know, more time per day than, you know, the general requirement. So if you can even, like, get a small portion of that, like, level of success, then at that point you'll actually want to start monetizing, as opposed to, like, you know, if you're just starting out on YouTube, you are going to be making pennies. I think my first, Cleaving Whirlwind, fancy. I think my first paycheck on YouTube was for about 40 bucks. Which I didn't get because I immediately partnered with a network and that check got lost in the mail. Because YouTube didn't care. But yeah, so when everybody started panicking about the 4,000 hours thing, I was just like, that is like nothing. But the nice thing about that is that actually makes the ad rates better for everybody, because it means that they're being put on the videos that like are actually worth watching, as opposed to just random monetized videos from like some small channel that has like a video on birdsong. I keep trying to kill the Grineer and it's confusing the shit out of me. And it also prevents people from like rehosting videos. This is more of a problem when I was like first starting out. But people would steal my videos and other YouTubers' videos. I think it still happened more recently, but I think they got better at catching these people. But effectively, people would download a video, and they would download a video and then rehost it on their own channel with full monetization because YouTube wasn't checking, and they get, you know, maybe like a piddly amount of views, and then monetize them. But they'd have like 1,000 videos on their channel, so say if you had 1,000 videos, each getting about, you know, 10, 20 views, tops, maybe? That actually translates to, like, not an insubstantial amount of money, especially if you live in a third world country. Which generally these people did. And they usually ran, like, a whole bunch of these, like, little kind of robber channels. Why is my tentaball not tentaballing? I have no idea. It's not like grabbing anything. It just kind of disappears. Maybe it's because there's nothing in range? No, there's totally stuff in range. I don't get it. What was that? Usually I wait till my audience tells me if somebody's stolen a video, because it'll show up and then I'll report it and DMCA them. And then their channel gets shut down and rinse repeat forever. And they just keep doing it because it makes them money. It sucks when that happens, but like it's not that big of a deal for me. But now those people literally can't do it anyway. Which makes it really nice for me because I don't have to worry about it. It would take some serious effort to cheat the system. Like, it would take a lot more effort now to cheat the system to be able to steal videos in that manner. And it makes me very happy that I don't have to worry about that. And other channels don't either. And this way also you don't get ISIS videos on YouTube, which is like not okay in any regard. It's like, that shit's vile. Let's see. But so yeah, that's the 4,000 hour video thing. But the nice thing about that is, you know, I was talking about, god damn it, I keep shooting the Grineer. He even has the ally tag and I still shoot at him. But so, you know, I was talking about how the adpocalypse ended up increasing the quality of ads and stuff like that. This also increases the quality of ads, because I guess I was kind of mentioning this. It concentrates the ads closer to the top, which, yeah, 1%. But it, you know, it means that anybody that actually relies on this for a living gets ads, as opposed to, like, you know, being spread around. Because I think for years now, possibly for YouTube's entire, like, lifespan. Wow, he just got flung off that direction and died. I think for much of YouTube's entire lifespan, they've actually never had enough ads for every monetized video, like, on the site. And so, so this way, I think they will actually have enough ads to go around, which is a good system. Oh, also got a Brutal Tide. I should probably figure out how to hand out some of these, to fans or something that need mods. I do know some people that have had, like, really rough times with, demonetization, though. I guess it's not a big deal with me, necessarily. Okay, I guess we gotta do that some more. I'm just gonna grab Banshee for this. I knew one guy that, like, I want to say every video of his got demonetized as soon as he hit them public. No warning. And the problem with that is, you know, for me, I put out 10 videos a day. Like, I don't really care. But for this poor guy, he'd put out one video every, like, 2 days or something like that. So the sudden, like, demonetization of his videos every single couple of days was just like, oh, yeah. Nothing for you. Wow. What the hell is the Stug for? Probably just pure damage. Few Twitch streamers you watch have 100% demonetization rate. I've got a solid 50%, I think, demonetization rate. Oh, I had it to public. If I set it to friends only. Yeah, Broken Mirror, if you want to join me, did you add me to your friends list? Because I might as well accept friends. OG titty sprinkles, really now? Okay, I'm just gonna accept them all. Let's see. But yeah, so this guy would only put out a video every couple of days, and they'd get demonetized for like the full 24 hours, and unfortunately, YouTube is kind of slow about, YouTube is kind of really slow about these things. You want to grab Broken Mirror or whatever it is? Yeah, he's on my friends list, so he'll just join whenever. Okay. And now I've set it to friends only, so we don't have to worry about it. Which one was it? It was this one. Okay, support defense, and this time I'm just gonna roll Banshee and sit. But yeah, so it takes YouTube up to 24, maybe 48 hours to confirm some of these videos. And for me, it doesn't matter, because it's spread across, you know, 10 videos a day. If only a couple of them get stuck in demonetization hell, it's not a big deal. But for this poor guy, his like monthly income, I think, halved, which sucks. And that one's purely on YouTube, because like his videos, I think, are purely family friendly. I think he just does VR stuff, and you know, doesn't swear, doesn't do too much. But because some reason, might be his name, might be whatever, it's just like, well. Anyway, yes, unrelated, I do need to do this. I don't actually have a donation tracker on my stream, but thank you, Sweetleaf Pony, for the $6 donation. I just have, I have notifications that pop up on my phone, and I get, oh, I don't notice sometimes. I've got to figure out a better thing. The problem is, like, I don't want donations to show up on YouTube, because, like, I feel really bad, subjecting other people to that. Because, you know, I'm super thankful for anything and everything anybody ever throws at me. But I hate watching streamers that have, like, chimes that play whenever they get a donation, and this, like, big graphic that pops over the screen of the video. And so I've always, like, specifically gone for the very personal approach. And it makes me feel kind of bad, because I feel like I'm not doing enough to thank people. And every time that I do get a donation, I do the same spiel where I'm just like, I don't know what to do, so thank you. But also, what? I don't know. This is why I want to find somebody that knows what they're doing already, so that they can tell me. Though, according to some other YouTubers, that have, like, I've asked, they say they don't even notice, so I guess that's kind of okay, maybe. Like, I was talking to a Vac, I mentioned him earlier, he's another YouTuber, streams occasionally, and, so we were playing Stellaris together, which is really fun, and, so the first day that we played Stellaris Apocalypse, it wasn't out yet. It wasn't off embargo, and nobody had access to it, except for us and, like, Quill18 and a couple other people, that I know about. Anyway, so we had to record the first session off stream. The second session was once the embargo had lifted, and I was like, hey man, can I stream this? Because I realized I hadn't asked him about it, and I was like, okay, you know, I should actually probably mention that I'm going to be streaming this one. And he said no, and it threw me for a loop, actually, because I've never run into a single person that said no to it before. And it turns out it wasn't even, like, you know, him being against streaming. It's because he had worked with YouTubers in the past. They got, like, really upset about, like, kind of streaming during a YouTube record session or whatever. And apparently, you know, he had watched some of my stuff before we did the videos together and vice versa. And I guess he had just never realized I've been streaming the entire time. I mean, you do actually have to kind of watch the right videos to even realize that I am. Like, if I'm ever playing a multiplayer thing, I almost never respond to my chat because, yeah, it's rude to everybody else around me. And so, I was surprised and actually, like, really confused because, you know, for me, it's such, like, a natural thing. And to be on, like, the opposite side of the opposite, to be confronted with kind of an alternate viewpoint for once, was really surprising. Because I mean, usually everybody's super affable. And, yeah, I guess he had just worked with some YouTubers in the past that, like, had broken friendships as a result. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, totally respect that. I know we're going to be streaming the next one, too, because he thought long and hard about it and realized it wasn't a problem. This is just interesting. Hearing from somebody that, you know, apparently I'm mostly good at hiding the fact that I'm streaming. Which I guess really it's probably just, I get like one prompt from the audience, talk about it for about 10 minutes, and then get another one. Unless people have me on remote control, which is usually on a roguelike. Then I usually get pretty remote control-y. Can I mark? Let's see, it's G. Can I mark all of them? Yes. No, I can only mark one of them. Each one of us can only mark one person. That's what the deal is. Yeah, I think someday when I'm like maybe less particular about stuff, I'll probably figure that sort of thing out. I don't know. What I have works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it too much. Like, every once in a while I'll, like, try and think of, like, new fancy streamer YouTube gaffes that will, like, improve the experience for everybody. And then I think about it for, like, some time, and I'm just like, you know what? No, this is actually, like, a bad idea. Like, don't poke the beast too much, because who knows what, you know, what people like and don't like about stuff, and, you know, if you just give people whiplash, it'll be a problem. Also, like, so I used to stream with Facecam for all of, I want to say, like, 2 months. I think it was the summer that I had Facecam on. And for whatever reason, during that specific set of 2 months, I ran into an inordinate amount of, I ran into, like, a crazy amount of lost footage issues. And so usually when I lose footage, I just pull it from my stream. Because I generally stream everything. That's part of the reason why I started streaming everything, is because I was losing too much footage on my offline recordings, and it was getting depressing, so I was like, well, screw it. If I just stream it, I always have the VOD that I can come back to. We're about 15 minutes till night, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to make it, man. My voice is actually starting to go. I've been going for 6 hours, and I've been recording every single day, pre-stream, too. I'd like to make it tonight, but I don't think I can. Not today, anyway. But, so, for this specific summer, I was streaming with Facecam and, you know, just cutting the Facecam for the live recording, because I could just use a stream program and a recording program in parallel. But I kept losing footage over and over and over again. So I think if you go watch my, like, Holy Potatoes Weapon Shop series, and I think maybe some Terraria, but there are just a couple of episodes on YouTube that just randomly have Facecam all of a sudden, and then it goes away for the rest of the series. And it threw people off, actually, because almost nobody's used to seeing my face to begin with. And it doesn't help that I don't have a setup that works with webcam. Like, everybody always has these, like, really pretty setups and webcam placements and lighting, and I'm just a dude in a living room with, the rest of my living room behind me. I mean, it's a shelf now, and it looks nice. It has art. But it most definitely is not like, you know, a particularly fancy anything. But I was editing that footage together after the fact, and I was just like, oh, this looks weird and bad. And pretty much that was my never again moment. Honestly, like, I don't know, I'm not particularly interested in facecam to begin with, because I'm like afraid that I'm gonna like scratch my ass or something on camera and everybody's just gonna start pointing it out. Because I mean, you have to. You sit in a chair for 6 hours straight, your butt gets itchy at some point, especially when it's warm. Ugh. Don't get me started about how warm it gets sometimes when you're recording. Because, like, baseline, I think it's just kind of the energy generated from, you know, kind of being on. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this. If you're ever in a position where you're, like, you're kind of not putting on an act, but you're in a heightened level of, like, energy or whatever, you warm up. And so this is something that I specifically run into is when I'm like, when I'm recording, I'm really, really warm. Much warmer than I usually am. I guess whatever that is not something that I can actually get. Might be a, oh, it's a dead ally, maybe. Maybe? I don't know, actually. But so, like, I get really, really toasty when I'm recording, especially when it's like, you know, midsummer and I don't want to have the AC on too much because it gets loud and you're just like, well, I prefer the anonymity of not having a camera on and a quiet microphone that doesn't catch my farts. Because, yeah, I've farted on camera before. And I'm pretty glad I don't think my microphone can catch it up. Shell had her head on top of my head while we were trying to pick a name for the characters for Secret of Mana. And you could barely hear her. And I didn't realize this until I was editing it together, because I used to have a Blue Yeti, which is this really, really loud thing. It would pick up any noise, like a loud chair creak, or like, oh jeez, what did it pick up once that was like really ridiculous? I think it caught me peeing in the other room. And like, it wasn't just the toilet flushing, it was like straight up the me peeing. And it was just like, oh, yeah, let's start muting ourselves when we leave, because that's not something I want anybody to hear. And so now I've switched over to AT2020s, which are much less sensitive, and it is much much more comforting not having to worry about people hearing things. If you've ever seen Soviet Womble's Bullshittery, you know what I'm talking about. I always want to do that to Bird, but unfortunately, because Bird is more of a family businessman now, I can't do the old stream shenanigans that I used to, because I know we have like a limited amount of time every day. I gotta make some detonite injectors too. Can I make them? Do I? Nope. I'll have to go get the I'll have to go get the blueprint.